Right then, hi guys. So this is the video that I keep putting off doing, and I mean I've left it till gone 8:30 tonight because I've been busy. But I'm going to try and get it done. So I might have to cut it short if Mike gets home while I'm still doing it. So yeah, it's basically obviously my experience with the FND, misdiagnosis, and kundalini awakening is what I'm going to be talking about. Do you know, I'm not right in the mood for this. You know when you've had a busy day and you're sort of like a bit, and it's late, I might put this off till Wednesday now. So I want to do quite a long video, like going into great detail over what I've been through. And I know that Lisa's really keen to watch my video about it. I was reading a bit about kundalini today, so I'll just go briefly into it, she says, and then this is where I start rambling for an hour. Right, so yeah, my problems, obviously I started off in a wheelchair. Well, I started off at the age of 13 with pain in my knee that was totally unexplained, and the doctors didn't have a clue what was wrong with me. They just called it growing pains. Then as I got older, they said it's arthritis. Then at 26, they diagnosed with fibromyalgia. Now at the age of 26, they told me all the symptoms of fibromyalgia. They explained it to me. Next thing I know, as the years progress, I've got every single symptom of fibromyalgia, not just pain, widespread. So yeah, that's that. I'll come back to that one. So you know, 20 years down the line, near enough, and I finally get a correct diagnosis. I mean, I've had lots of diagnoses through the years, but it got to a point where I'd started getting fit again, yeah, I've been going in the gym and what have you, but it got to a point where I started getting spasticity because of what it started it. So what started it, and I've gone and screenshot this so that I can show you. So I was going in the gym a lot, and can you see on that picture, down that side just there, now that is a muscle not sticking out of my side. Tight muscle, basically. Now, the doctors were saying, one doctor did say it was just a tight muscle that needed stretching, but I was stretching it and it wasn't getting better, so I went to see a different doctor, and she says it's a ganglion. And I googled ganglions, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, that's absolute rubbish. So I'm going to try and relax, because otherwise I'm going to end up really tense. So yeah, that doctor told me it was a ganglion, which, because of my anxiety, and I didn't realise this at the time, but what happened was, because I've got anxiety, and what actually turned out to be functional neurological disorder, yeah, I went into basically a massive anxiety thing over it, and I started causing spasms within my own body through anxiety. I'm going to stick the light on because I'm really dark, aren't I? It's really sunny, but there's just not much light in here. And I feel daft turning the light on, but oh, that's better, you can see me now. Yeah, I know, I need to get all lights and stuff. Oh, do you know, bloody shoulder's been getting tight, but it's my neck. So it's actually my neck. Everything that's wrong with me seems to stem from my neck. I've got referred pain right down my body from it, and I mean earlier I was rubbing my neck and my butt cheek nipped up and it's like, ah! And that's because I was playing with my neck, and they're all connected. So yeah, anyway, where was I? This is the problem with me, I start rambling. Because I'm a bit all over the place today, I'm going to ramble even more, which is why I can't do the full video. But yeah, so I started getting anxiety over this muscle knot, tension, whatever it was. The doctors couldn't explain it. Now, what I'd been doing, I'd been going to this pool at the gym, and I'd started walking up and down the pool, because I've been in a wheelchair, and I've been housebound for quite a while, so I did need to build the strength back up. So I was walking up and down the pool, and I used to have really bad posture. I was very anxious, so I used to tense up. I had really rounded shoulders, and I'm autistic, so I used to do the autistic hand thing. I've managed to correct that, but what happened is walking up and down the pool started correcting my posture without me realising it by forcing me upright. So I started getting pain in my shoulders where they were getting tight, and it was, you know, being forced into a different position. The muscles were complaining. Now, the doctors didn't really know what it was. They just said, oh, it's just tight muscles, carry on. One of the lads in the gym, I was in the sauna, I used to be at a health club, and yeah, I was sat in the sauna, and he was saying about the muscles, and he says, oh, try rollering in the gym. And I was like, what's that? And I'll show you. So what it is, it's foam roller, just in case you don't know what a foam roller is. It's one of these. And what you do is you literally lie on it on the ground and roll on it. Yeah, it's great. I used to spend like 20 minutes a day on that thing, just doing my back and my shoulders and my sides, and oh my God, I loved it. But anyways, enough about that. So yeah, I was rollering. Well, no, I went up into the gym to start using the roller. But obviously I needed an induction to the gym, and Dad got an induction, did a session, and I quite enjoyed it. And I used to be a gym bunny. When I was younger, I keep correcting my posture here because I keep noticing in the camera my chin's still creeping up because I've got like a really bad knot in the back of my neck, and it pulls on my head. There was a time when I had my head was right up in the air like that, and I didn't realise how bad my posture was until I saw a fit photo of myself and cracking it there doing that. So yeah, I'm trying to concentrate on keeping my chin down. But yeah, it's very important, the posture. And somebody asked me about my FND and the posture and said, is it related? This is where this video gets really complicated because it is related. So my FND is caused by trauma. I've had trauma all through my life, from being young, bullied, the rest of it. There was all sorts of stuff went on in my childhood. Do you know? No, your neighbour, you're just going to talk and waffle at me, so no. Your next door neighbour, downstairs, he's ringing and he only just wants to chat, he's just bored. But I'm busy, so he'll just have to get ignored. So yeah, right, what was I saying then? Oh, do you know? This is the problem when I'm all over the place. I'm a bit hyper today, what can I say? Right, so, oh, do you know? He's distracted me. Right, where was I at? Yeah, the FND and the posture, that was it. Yeah, so somebody asked me about it. Now, the thing with me is, it is very much because everything that's wrong with me stems from anxiety, trauma, and living in fight or flight mode, basically. Yeah, the bad posture I've covered, haven't I? So yeah, it's just tension, anxiety, and really bad posture that was wrong with me through my life. And I started doing this course. I never finished it because that's me, I'm crap at stuff. But this course was really interesting. Now, one of the things it said was that if you live in fight or flight state, so when there's a threat, what it said is that you release hormones that puts you into fight or fight mode, and, you know, it's adrenaline and cortisol and all that. And I have got the bloody thing somewhere, but I can't find it and I can't be bothered now. But the crux of it was, the most important part was, yeah, you release all these chemicals into your body when you're in, you know, when there's some type of threat or some problem. So basically, if you're living in an unsafe home, say you're a child or something that lives in an unsafe home, or you're being bullied at school regular, any type of trauma like that, you're going to be living in fight or flight. Now, it says that you don't come out of the heightened state until you sense that the threat has passed. Now, that is the most important part for me. Now my forehead's spasming because I'm not moving. And so literally that part of my face is spasming now, but whatever. Yeah, I've got an update available too. So yeah, I was living in fight or flight for so long because I didn't know that the threat had passed, even once the threat had passed. So you become stuck. I'm doing it again. You become stuck in fight or flight mode. So even if you've left what was causing the trauma, and you might have moved on by 10, 20 years, and yeah, you'll probably have had more stuff happen to you, which has added to your fight or flight response. But even if you get to a point where you feel safe, if you don't realise in your head that you can come down from that fight or flight, and I mean, I've been away from anything that could, you know, I don't know, well, I think I have. But yeah, it took me until about 3 years ago to realise what was going on. And yeah, I was living in fight or flight. And I used to say I run on adrenaline. I live on adrenaline, it's ace. And it's not, it's really quite bad for you. And it causes all sorts of problems. Like functional neurological disorders. I think that they are caused by stress through your life. I think that's what causes them. But I don't know, I might be wrong on that. But that's just what I think from what I've been reading and stuff. Right then, so yeah, so the posture thing is very important with an FND because while you've got bad posture, you're guarding. And when you're guarding, you're tensing muscles up that shouldn't be tight. And yeah, bad posture is painful. And because I've got the FND and I'm anxious and bad posture, it's just a double whammy. So do you know what I mean? It really does mess with it. Right, now then, what else was I going to talk about on this video? Oh my god, so much is going through my head. I'm like thinking about the kundalini stuff, and I'm thinking about, what happened when I started going to the gym? I started drinking loads. Now, somebody had told me that I was going through an unprepared kundalini awakening. Give it a Google, unprepared kundalini awakening, and Google your symptom, whatever the pain may be. And you'll probably find that your symptoms lie up with the kundalini awakening. I don't know, a lot of people's do. But she told me about the pain in my shoulder. She said, oh, you're going through an unprepared kundalini awakening. It's like, read a bit about spiritual crap, what a load of bollocks. That's literally what I thought, because I want into spiritual stuff. I'm not religious, and so I just thought, it's a load of crap, a load of rubbish. I sort of left it. But I did keep reading articles. I kept Googling my symptoms, and the more I did read about it, the more it's like became undeniable that it could be a kundalini awakening, unprepared one, because all my symptoms lined up with it. So I started following the advice in these articles. And one of the first things was to drink lots of water. If you think you're thirsty, drink whenever you want. Just drink plenty of water. Now, I started drinking through anxiety, and I was drinking 20 odd pints of water a day at one point. But what I do think is that it was necessary, because my physio, he was giving me a massage, cheap, obviously, because I can't afford anything expensive. I was seeing him for massage and ultrasound, and he actually, one time, I'm rubbing my leg because it's a bit tight, one time I tried to reduce how much water I was having, and he said he could feel that I was dehydrated. So I was like, oh, I've tried to cut back on the water a bit. And he's like, oh, well, you obviously need it then. Now, I think I was flushing the bad cortisol out my body. So cortisol can store in your body. And now, if you've got PTSD, you've got a lot of cortisol in your body, and it's not good for you. And I think that I was flushing it all out my system, because I don't drink anywhere near as much now. I mean, I went out today and didn't take a drink with me. And do you know what I mean? I mean, I was drinking like 20 odd pints a day and electrolytes to keep me, the salts in my system. But it worked. So I don't know, if you think you're going through a kundalini awakening, drink lots of water. Just remember that the kidneys can only cope with a litre of water per hour. So don't drink more than a litre of water in an hour. And if you're a small body weight, I'd suggest drinking less, just to be on the safe side. I tried to stick to 750 mils an hour, with electrolytes as well to keep the salts in your system. Just a bit of advice there. I'd Google everything. I mean, I was eating a lot of bananas at one day, and I Googled how many bananas are safe, and that's 7 a day apparently. 7 large bananas you can have in a day, so not overdose on potassium. And I was like, right, that's fine, I'm having 5 or 6. Not a problem. I was going to the gym a lot, I needed it. So I was doing loads of exercise. But I'm getting a lot better. I've fixed my posture just about. But by following the advice of a kundalini awakening. So what a kundalini awakening is, it's to find feminine energy that's at the base of your... I read this bloody article earlier and I've already forgotten what it said. Why does Google not hold my articles open? But basically it's the divine feminine energy that's stored at the base of your spine. It can rise, basically. Something can cause it to rise, and that's the kundalini awakening. And the idea is it rises like a serpent and comes up through the chakras and should come out the top of your head. I don't know if any of this is true, but what I think is that a kundalini awakening might just be the release of trauma that's been stored in your body. So I've been doing a lot of yoga, stretching, trying to, do you know what I mean, get the muscles back to where they're supposed to be, because I've got twisted muscles. One of my conditions, complex regional, and I mean, I'm beginning to question if that's even a bloody condition or not, or if it's caused by anxiety and the wrong chemicals and stuff. Now, it is a condition because you have noticeable changes in your blood. You have these weird antibodies in your blood that show up on blood tests. So, I haven't made up having this complex regional. It's real. I've got it. But my knee, it's not swollen as much. I can touch it now. My hand still puffs up from time to time. But when I get anxious, which is what's making me question about the control we have over our bodies. Now, it's the functional neurological disorder that's got me thinking, because I mentioned about the fibromyalgia and I said I'd come back to it. Now, here it is. So Because I've got the functional neurological disorder, at 26, when I was told that I had fibromyalgia, I developed every single symptom of fibromyalgia. The pain, the fatigue, everything, everything that comes with fibromyalgia, I had. It was a nightmare. And then obviously got all the medications on top, which is even worse. And yes, opiate addiction is a massive thing. And the pain, my God, when I stopped the opiates, the amount of pain I was in was so much less. My doctor said I was putting myself into a permanent state of opiate withdrawal. And that's exactly what I was doing. It's quite scary, the power that your mind can have over your body as well. Because I stopped all the opiates. I've lost a tangent there, haven't I? Oh, do you know, I stopped all the opiates using cannabis anyway, and that worked really well. But yeah, I was talking about the power of the mind over the body. I went off on one then, didn't I? Do you know, I'm so tired. I need a veer. Yeah, so the power of the mind over the body. I literally gave myself every single fibromyalgia. Now, 2 years ago, because of the muscle spasm in my side and the doctors not being able to diagnose it, I gave myself every single symptom of MS. My physio said I had spasticity. Literally spasticity. It was that bad. The muscles were really tight. Dystonia in my feet. I still get it a bit, but nowhere near as bad. And usually it's down to where the pain in my neck is, well, the tightness in my neck, because it's not pain anymore as such. I keep saying I'm not in pain, and I'm not really in pain. I get tight muscles and they feel uncomfortable, but actual pain, not really. It's very rare now, and usually just very briefly. I mean, I was in 24/7 pain at one point. It was an absolute nightmare. And I'm waffling again, aren't I? So yeah, the power of the mind over the body. Now, what I've realised is if I can give myself all these conditions, how many other people are doing it to themselves? Now, that's what you need to ask yourself, is how many of these conditions have I caused to myself because I've got a functional neurological disorder? Ask yourself that question. And that's all I'm sort of saying. I'm not saying that there's... And this is the other thing, it's not that you're imagining, because the symptoms are very, very physical and very real. One of my friends, she gets paralysis. Caused by her FND. Another one has seizures, another one has Tourette's. Another one's got Tourette's and seizures. And there isn't really anything that you can do. I don't know, it's difficult because I can control the spasms now, but it's very, very hard to do, and it's took a long time to master it. Yeah, the power of the mind over the body. Yeah, you need to ask yourself, is it possible that I've got an FND? Is it possible that all of my conditions are actually psychosomatic? Now, psychosomatic, people think, it's in your head. It's in your head. It's caused by your head. But it's also, with FND, it's neurological as well, and it's physiological. So you get very physical, very real symptoms that a doctor will diagnose as a totally different condition. Because they'll see it and they'll think it's something else. But the fact is that it's your mind that's causing it. Now, if you can work out how to control your mind or fix your brain, I mean, I'm assuming that some people with FNDs have actually got miswiring and stuff in the brains to have the seizures and stuff. Although I've got close, I've not actually had a seizure, but my face has shook so much that, when the tension's been really bad in my neck, my face has been going like that. It's like as though I'm going to have a seizure, but I haven't. It's just really tight and makes my head shake a bit. But it does sort of make me wonder if I hadn't realised where I was going and I had to let the tension get worse. Is it possible that eventually I might have started having seizures? I'll never know, because I'm not going to go backwards. You know what I mean? I'm practically better. It's just this bloody thing in my neck that needs to go. It's like a massive, and I mean, it's about that size, like in the back of my neck. I mean, it has been like the size of a bloody golf ball at times, but at the moment it's floating around right behind my spine. I think it's this side of my spine. Yeah, the back of my spine. I think it's behind my spine. But then the other night, it was more towards the front. And you'll have seen me on my videos doing that. And I'm cracking the knots out. And I'm not doing it as much as I was at one point. At one point, and you see me doing that, I'm putting the shoulder back into the correct position, because that muscle there is really tight still. And it's pushing the shoulder forward. And I'm like, no, go back there. That's where you belong. And that's where you're staying. Yeah, and, the shoulder will relax out again. It's been a long process of correcting the posture by forcing the muscles into the right place. Oh, do you know, I'm going to have to see what he wants. I'll pause you. Yeah, he didn't actually want anything really, apart from to point out that I was flashing my tits in the garden earlier. Yeah, do you know... He said there was a mucky woman in the garden area. We had some trouble. She had her boobs out. Right here, okay. I'll go tell her. Yeah, stay back there. Yeah, chest out, shoulders back. Oh, do you know? It's really, really quite hard to keep correct posture. And I mean, my neck's pulling me that way, and my shoulders trying to creep forward, and I'm saying get back there. But yeah, it's been a case of literally forcing the muscles into the right place. I mean, when I was going to the gym, I was lifting a lot of heavy weights, and it's probably not the best thing to do. So if you are going through an unprepared kundalini awakening or any type of kundalini awakening, do yoga, not weights, because you'll put yourself in more pain. Now, yoga's a much better way of doing it. So I'm doing lots of yoga now. I love it. And yeah, I'm not very good at it, but I'm doing it. Although I can do the tree pose sometimes. Most of the time I can do it now. But yeah, I've just literally been forcing the muscles back into the right place by massaging them. And I mean, I've had massage chairs, I've got the wraparound thing. I don't need to use them now. There was a time when I had to sit in my massage chair for like a good hour every night because my back was so tight and knotty. And this is another thing. So I do also wonder. So, right, there's another thing as well. Your fascial tissue. It's spelled F-A-C-S-I-A, I think. So it's basically a membrane that surrounds all your muscles, all your organs and everything. But when you become immobile, it can dry out and become dry and brittle and painful. Yeah, painful. So there we go. So I think I had dried out fascia. You rehydrate it by rollering, exercise, and drinking lots of water, 20 odd pints a day, to rehydrate it. And I've been rehydrating that. And I do wonder if the dried out fascia can also go hard and need massaging, like as in literally knotted. I don't know. It might have just been muscles that were really tight and in the wrong place slightly. But yeah, everything, my back's a lot better now. I don't really need to sit in a massage. Well, I haven't sat in a massage chair for bloody ages now. And I haven't used the wraparound massager for ages. I think, God, I'm not even sure. No, been ages. And an ultrasound machine that I bought. I had to use ultrasound on myself as well. All these things you can do to help yourself, because the doctors are bloody useless. You might as well not waste your time with them. Sorry, I'm a bit thirsty. I've been thirsty all day. It's so hot. I mean, I'm not complaining, but yeah, you've got to drink plenty. God, here I go on about water again. So yeah, right. Oh, do you know, it's getting late and I'm trying to work out if I've covered everything or not. I kind of wanted to make it a really long video where I was all relaxed, but then I'd have been like not getting it done, and now I've just gone and rambled it out in 22 minutes. Oh, do you know, I'll probably talk about it again. So yeah, let's see. I'm just trying to remember what I've already discussed, and yeah, I don't know. No, I'm losing my train of thought now, so I think I've covered just about everything. But any questions, just give me a shout. And I mean, if you want any advice, find me on Facebook or Twitter and drop me a private message, because I don't know how to reply to people properly on YouTube privately, and not everybody wants to know the private business and stuff. So I mean, just drop me a private message if you want to chat. Yeah, I don't know. This bloody muscle here. So I've got the shorts on so I can show you it. So it's this here, and it's gone so tight, it's bulging here because I'd stopped using my bum and the outside part of my thigh. This is another thing. Okay, so here we go. It's going to get a bit longer. So when you're on cannabis, the mind-body connection between cannabis and between your body is a lot stronger. So when I was in the gym, I'd close my eyes when I was lifting weights, and I'd be able to isolate a specific muscle. The problem with that is that if I'm not thinking about a muscle, so I was doing like pull downs, I was doing lots of weights, lots of different weights. My shoulders were getting built, my arms and everything were getting built, and my physio said your lats are flaccid, and I was like, really? So I had to do specific exercises for my lats. Even though when I'm lifting everything else, I'm lifting with my lats, because you can't not lift with your lats. Well, I assume I was lifting with my lats. I've discovered that I wasn't using my arms properly the other day, so I don't know. But yeah, if I don't think about a muscle while I'm doing something, then I might not actually work it. And I've got to really concentrate. When I'm walking, I've got to really think about how I'm walking, where my body is and what it's doing. I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one that has this problem, but it's bizarre. I mean, I've had to sort of teach myself to walk correctly because I was doing it so wrong. I mean, I wasn't using my legs and my bum correctly. I wasn't using my hips correctly, which had probably caused the knee pain when I was younger. I mean, the doctors, they never bothered to check my posture. I mean, if they'd checked my posture, they'd been like, well, you just got dreadful posture, that's what's wrong with you, woman. But they didn't. They didn't check my posture. Otherwise, they might have been able to say, well, you're using your hips incorrectly because you're not putting your bum out enough, and so your knees are hurting. But no, that never happened. So instead I had like 20 odd years of misdiagnoses and lots of drugs. You know what I mean? And all I really needed was a posture checkup. And yeah, it's quite scary really that doctors don't think, they don't look for the logical, obvious, I don't know, it seems obvious to me, a lot of things. And it's like, well, how could you not like see all these symptoms and not realise that's what was wrong with me? I mean, especially the FND, as soon as I read about it, I'd never heard of this condition. And I'm reading about it and I'm like, well, that's me. How was my doctor? I mean, it says about presenting atypically for things. And my doctor's always said, oh, you always present atypically for everything. You're never quite right, are you? Lots of different diagnoses, lots of, you know, different problems that don't make sense, sporadic things that will come up and then go away again, or, do you know what I mean? It was so obvious to me that it's functional neurological disorder that when I went to the hospital expecting the doctor to diagnose me with MS and she said FND, I was like, yeah, it is, isn't it? Because that's kind of what I really thought it was. Do you know what I mean? Partly because I'd kind of come to that conclusion myself and I'd started to get the spasticity under control by not sort of tensing up and being as anxious and causing my own spasms. And then the bad posture just makes it, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's been mad. And then, I don't know, and every time I've corrected my posture a bit further, so I'll correct one part and then, you know, it's like, oh no, that's still wrong, or no, your shoulders aren't far enough back. So I check with my physio and I'm like, you know, is it right yet? Is this, I'm still not quite right. I'm not using this muscle properly when I'm stood. So it's, I'm not basically standing like a duck and sticking my bum out and chest out. And he says, well, you'll hurt your lower back if you don't use that part. So it's, do you know what I mean? It's important that you walk correctly. And yeah, I don't know. It's just, it seems logical to me that if posture's your issue, you work on your posture and hope that everything else fixes. And that's pretty much what's happened. But like I say, every time I correct my posture, and like the last thing has been the hips, the bum, trying to stick the bum out more. And my legs are just all over the place. And like I say, I'd forgotten to use my bum and the back of that thigh. So that's gone all flaccid. And all I can think is that I've not been thinking about that muscle enough. So I've started going in the gym and using the leg press a bit to try and get my glutes firing. As the physio always says, you need to get your glutes firing. And I could understand what he's saying, because when I was going out roller skating, sometimes it'd take me right around the block to actually get my bum to engage. I'd been using it and it still felt like a brick. It felt absolutely rock solid, and it'd take ages for it to actually loosen up and turn back into a muscle. Your muscles should not be hard. They should be soft, relaxed. Do you know what I mean? And it's like when your muscles are hard, it means that they need massaging, or they're too tight, whatever, there's something wrong. They should be nice and relaxed and soft when you're not using them. But yeah, a lot of people don't realise that, and they think that having tight muscles is normal, and it's just not. So I've got a right massive knot there, would you believe? So I caught one in my calf yesterday. I'll show you this picture, because like, it's just mad. So I don't know if you can see it on this, what, oh crikey. Oh no, you can't see it, can you? Oh heck. No, I can't get it right. I'll put the picture up in comments if I can work out how. If not, it'll probably end up on my Twitter at some point. But yeah, it was just a little knot in my, it was just there. And it was just like a little knot that I managed to catch on camera. Oh, you know, more messages, they can wait a minute. But, I don't know, and I've got bloody notifications going off on here. Aye. But, I don't know. So, yeah, the next thing is just stretching my legs out into the right position. And it is a lot of stretching, because this thigh is, like I said, there's a massive knot there. And it's just bulging out. And I don't quite know what's caused that. Well, I do. It's probably correcting the posture. This is what I'm going with. I'm not 100% on this. I'm not 100% on anything that I tell you. So please do not take what I say as gospel. I'm learning by experience, and everything that I do is just my experience and how it's worked for me. So do your own research on everything, please. Always read up and always learn from multiple sources. Do not trust one source, ever. Even if you really trust that source normally, don't ever trust them 100%. They get things wrong. Everybody gets things wrong. I get things wrong a lot. I know that. At least I admit it, which is more than bloody doctors will. So yeah, it's like I say, this is my experience, is that every time I've corrected my posture, the muscles have complained, gone tight, and then they've relaxed. And my neck has been cracking a lot, but my physio's like, oh, you can't keep cracking your neck, you'll get addicted to it, it's bad for your neck, this, that, the other. But what I've found is that, I mean, it used to be quite down here that I was cracking out. And then it sort of got higher up, and now it's literally right up here. All those bits used to be the worst parts, both sides there, and those are, I mean, there where it was. See, this is the thing. This is why it's like the kundalini rises, and it does sort of make you question, like, is it a kundalini awakening? Is it just, getting rid of trauma? Is it just correcting my posture? It's what it is. I don't know. It could be a kundalini awakening. A kundalini awakening could be a thing. It could be spiritual. It could be release of trauma. It could be correction of posture. It could be all of the above. Who knows? But whatever it is, it's working. Yeah, I mean, the cannabis made it possible to exercise. Without the cannabis, I couldn't have done the exercise to sort of fix myself in the first place, because it would have been too painful. And I mean, I was using a lot at one point. I mean, I was using RSO and everything. And I was on loads. And I was using coconut oil. I was decarbing flour and eating it, in edibles and stuff, into coconut oil. This is absolutely, I don't know if I'll be able to show you it. No, I wouldn't really. But it's just like a massive bulge. Can you see it? So, there. I've been paused. Oh, damn. That was paused, and I don't know if that just happened or not. Oh, sugar. I'm hoping that just happened. Yeah, it did, because I babbled for another 10 minutes there. I think I've just accidentally pressed that while I was showing you my not, whatever it is. You might have seen it, you might not. But it's just a massive bulge under my thigh, but it'll work its way out and it'll crack out. I mean, one went in my knee last night, the night before, and then this morning my ankle, my God. And they crack really loud, but it's just, they go and then they don't usually, well, sometimes they come back a few times, but it seems that once they've cracked out a few times, they'll go totally. I don't know, it's just, unless I get anxious, and then I can put my entire body back into spasm quite easily. It's the upper body that goes first. The neck will tighten, and the shoulders come up, and then, my shoulders come forward again because they start. It's like the old posture tries to pull me back. And I'm like, no, you're staying in the new posture because it's less painful. Bad posture is really painful. I keep banging on about that, and I will keep banging on about it because I don't know how many people are just in pain because of bad posture and tension and anxiety. How many people have got FNDs and don't know it and could actually fix themselves using the power of the mind? I don't know, but it's kind of frustrating not being able to just like sort of say to people, do you think you've got an FND? Is it possible that it's something that you could control? Not all people could control it, but I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know how much can you control. Could you control a seizure? I don't know if you could, because that is neurological, isn't it? And like my friend with the paralysis, I mean, there's no way she can control that. But then I've had paralysis too, and it's like temporary paralysis, but that was more my wrist, and it was from sleeping on it. Funny, but I don't know. It does make you sort of wonder: are there different types of functional neurological disorders? I don't know, maybe I've got a less severe type that is easier to control and these people have got worse ones. I don't know, because I've never had these really bad symptoms. So I don't know, it's an interesting one, but because I haven't got a specialist, I'll never frigging know, will I? I've been referred back to neurology. So wait and see what happens with that. I don't know, probably nothing. I mean, I'm still waiting to get my bloody heart checked out properly. I've had a partial blockage in the left side of my heart for over a year now, and I'm still waiting to see a specialist. I've had a second ECG done, and they bumped me up the bloody list. So, because it's still there, they said, oh, it might just go. How can it just go? It's either blocked or it's not. That makes no sense. I don't know. But, yeah, it needs checking. Whatever. So, but I'm fine, I think. I think I'm fine. I don't know. My heart rate variability ain't great, mind, but I don't know. Right, I am going to get off this time because I think I've waffled on for enough. But like I say, if there's anything I didn't cover or anything else that you want to know, just ask. And you know what I mean? I might do another video about it when I've got a bit more time one day. The problem is that while the weather's like this, I want to sit out in the garden. While I'm out in the garden, I can't do a video because then all the neighbours will hear me talking and I'll get all paranoid and think that they're bloody listening when they're probably not even able to hear me properly. So I don't do it in the garden. And then it gets late on the night and I've had my dinner. Well, I've had half my dinner. It was so hot earlier. I was trying to eat my dinner and I couldn't eat it because I was too hot. And actually I'm getting hungry again now and it's cooled down a bit. What is it? 22 degrees in here. It's actually quite nice though. I don't mind it. But and my head keeps tilting up again. You feel as though so good posture feels really weird. I'm telling you. So right. So now this is where I'm gonna stand up. So yeah, good posture. All right. No, that's not gonna show it right, is it? It's the wrong height. Have I got something that's the right height? Oops. That's a little bit better. You have to excuse the mess. So, good posture according to my physio. Oops. Right, you bum out, chest out, engaging your core, pushing right forward. And he's like, yeah, that's it. And I'm like, shoulders back a bit more. And I'm like, really? Like that? It's like, apparently that's really good posture, but it feels so weird. So I'm going with this. This is about where I'm at now. But it does feel really strange to hold good posture. It's just not a natural position, especially if you've had bad posture. But yeah, the neck part feels the strangest because holding it like that, it just feels really strange, but it's less painful. And I just need that knot to drop out so it stops pulling my head into the wrong place. And then I might stop having to do that with my jaw. I just hope it's all better by product half. Because I can't be walking around going... Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's not so bad if I'm sucking a sweet because I can make it look like I'm just rolling a sweetie around my mouth, or chewing on gum. That's another good one. Chewing on gum, you can make it look like you're just, oh, do you know, oh, go away. Why do people want me now? Oh, do you know, I'll pause you again and see what he wants. God, people, I don't know. They want nothing, do you know what I mean? It's like, they don't even want anything really. They're just ringing for no reason. And now I've lost my train of thought again. What was I saying? I think I was wrapping it up, wasn't I? Because, yeah, Mike's going to be home soon and I'm getting hungry and I'm going to get another drink of water because I'm gasping. But, yeah, it's been interesting, sort of the reading about the kundalini and, do you know what I mean, sort of transferring it into my life. And at one point I did have unlimited energy as well. Yeah, I was sleeping 3-4 hours a night and still getting everything done. I mean, I was going and spending hours in the gym. I was doing 4 hours in the gym, a couple of hours in the pool, sauna area, and then I was coming home. I was getting my dinner cooked from scratch every night. You know, I was doing stuff online. I was going on Twitter. I was, you know, sharing articles, and I was doing all sorts. I was having very, very full days, and then I was making the balms, making my coconut oil, making this, that, the other, the sweets, everything. I was getting loads done. And now I've gone to the fatigue side of it, but I think that's probably the heart thing, isn't it? Yeah, it can give you unlimited energy if you allow it. But then again, is that the power of the mind? Is it just because in my head I wanted to have all that energy and so I gave myself it? I don't know. It's possible because there was a day when I had that really bad cold and I spent the day in bed and I've made myself feel really shit, like really crap. And so the next day I still felt quite bad and I was the same level of ill. But what I did, I dragged myself out and went and sat up Ellerton Dale on the hill and got a bit of fresh air. And it's the change of mind perspective. Like that first day, I was like, oh, I'm going to feel ill all day, I'm going to feel crap. And I felt really, really bad and I felt really poorly. The next day, I had fresh air and I didn't feel as bad. I was, still ill, but I felt all right. And it just shows the power of the mind. If you change how you're thinking, what you're feeling, it can have a massive effect on your body. And I don't know. I think that's just kind of important. So, anyways, right, I am going to get off. Oh my God, I've got one in that side as well. So that muscle's literally just been... I've been out for a walk today, and so my legs have been realigning it while exercising in the new position, and yeah, the muscles have gone really tight there. That's not usually like that. It's the same in both legs, like a massive tight bit there at both sides. Just that. I don't know. It's a weird one, that. Anyways, I suppose I best go do some stretches or something, hadn't I? Yeah, I'm sitting with my legs crossed a lot. Although not crossed, I put my feet together and do that as well. And that's quite a comfy one for sitting and watching telly as well. Because I can't sit with my legs out for long. I can't sit with my legs crossed because it's bad for your posture, and because of my FND, I put myself into spasm. So it's, I've got to sit pretty straight and like totally correct posture all the time. It's quite annoying. And do you know what I mean? But I'm hoping that eventually I'll get to a point where I can just relax in lots of different weird positions. Because it's like, you talk about people sleeping funny. See, this is what I said I'd end up rambling for ages, didn't I? You talk about people sleeping funny. And I slept funny, and oh my God, this is stiff, and oh my God, that's seized up. But, right, the babies sleep in really weird positions, don't they? And they'll sleep with the bums up in the air and the heads down here, and they don't wake up with a stiff neck. So what happens... Now, I know that age has an effect, but is it just age, or is it anxiety and tension? Because not everybody gets stiff muscles from waking up. It doesn't happen to everybody. Some people bounce out of bed and they're not stiff. So is it that life trauma is what causes us to become anxious in our sleep and not fully relax, so that our muscles are tense, and therefore when we wake up the muscles still tight? Because I mean, I was like this. I was spasming in my sleep. That's how bad I was. I did have sleep anxiety. I mean, you're supposed to be able to... They say that when you're asleep, you're supposed to be totally relaxed, and it's bollocks. It's just not true. Because I was in spasm. One second, I'm just getting another drink. I'd been in spasm while I was asleep, and I know this because I'd wake up and the muscle would be really tight, or I'd have somebody with me. Say there was this one guy, and he almost called an ambulance. It was the friend in my side, that picture I showed you. It was when that was quite bad, and it was twanging in the night because it was spasming. And the thing is that because I was such a sound sleeper and using so much RSO, and also because I was used to being in pain, I was crying out in my sleep apparently with the pain. I can't remember it. I was asleep. And he was going to call a frigging ambulance, the idiot. It's good job he didn't. I'd have been like, what have you done that for, you muppet? I'm fine. I'm off to the gym now. Seriously, if I woke up in pain, I had to go in the gym, because whatever was painful that day, that's what needed working, and it worked. That's my head. I don't know. It makes no sense. But when I was in the gym, I wasn't anxious. So when I was in the gym, I wasn't in pain. When I was at home, I was in absolute agony because I was always anxious at home because my head was broken, basically. Now I can relax at home and I'll get anxious while I'm at the gym. No, I don't, not so much. But you know what I mean? When I'm out and about is when I'm more likely to become anxious. When I'm around people, especially people I don't know. So I keep looking out the window just because it's nice, because I see things flash past as they go past the, on the main road. You see car lights and things. And so, yeah, I was going in the gym, and that's the only time I wasn't anxious. And, I'd work all the muscles. But anyway, back to, I was back to the baby thing, isn't it? So, yeah, I don't know. It's a good question, isn't it? So, as we get older, most of us go through some type of trauma. Is it causing a sleep anxiety that means that we don't totally shut our bodies down, which means that we can spasm in our sleep, which causes the tight muscles, that means you get a stiff neck in the morning? I don't know, it's just a question. Aye, and my rose quartz, that's something else I need to mention. Right, so, rose quartz, right. My friend gave me this to put under my pillow. It's just to sleep with. And she gave me a load of crystals actually, and it was when I was still a bit dubious about it, and I never really, I was like, yeah, okay, thanks. But one thing I found is that rose quartz is really relaxing. It's like super relaxing. It works on muscle spasms. How I discovered this, so one night, I don't know how, but it ended up actually in the bed, and it ended up on the side that had the muscle knots. And when I woke up in the morning with the rose quartz next to me, the muscle knot had pretty much gone down and it was all relaxed. Yeah, it came back again because once the rose quartz left its side, it tensed up again. And there was a time when I could not relax unless I was touching a piece of rose quartz. I mean, I was sleeping with it taped to my chest. I had a little tiny crystal, just like one of these ones, taped to my chest. Just to stop me from spasming. And then when I realised how well they worked on individual muscles, I started taping them all over myself. So I mean, I'd go to bed with them all up and down my neck, all over my shoulders, up and down my arms, all over my torso. And I got sick of taping them to myself, so I've got lots of beads now. Oh, 'cause my neck's getting a bit tight, so that's actually quite nice. Oh. And it's bizarre how it can relax you instantly, and it's not just me. A chap at the gym bought a rose quartz necklace off me that I lent him because it works so well on his ankle. But yeah, what I was doing, I was taping them to myself, and I got sick of doing it. So I've got these ones on strings, and what I do is I just sleep on them. So there's a long one that goes, that's the one that goes across there, and I sleep with that like that, and that keeps my shoulders relaxed in the night. And it just means that I can't spasm in my sleep. So that way I can't be tense in the morning and, my pain goes, and it does work. So if you've got any type of anxiety, muscle spasms, anything, just get it anyway, just buy it, rose quartz. Do you know what I mean? It's just a crystal. But I think that they give off vibrations, frequencies or something. I don't know, but it seems to work like an ultrasound does. They're just super relaxing. So yeah, get yourself some. It's not expensive and it works better than heat patches. I mean, I was using God knows how many heat patches and it was costing me a fortune. And then, I swapped to just sticking some rose quartz to myself and it works so much better. Well, it doesn't work better, it works about the same, but it's damn sight cheaper, which works better for me because I'm less stressed about the money side of it. Aye. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know. And then I was talking about the weightlifting in the gym, and I was saying about the fact that which muscles, I'd wake up in the morning and my shoulders would be tight, and that's because it was shoulder day. But I think it was all psychosomatic. So my head had created that that's what was going to happen, and so that's what did happen. So my mind had set itself on the fact that these days this is going to hurt, and so that is what's going to happen. And that is a very, very real thing. People do not understand that the power of the mind is so strong that if you decide that something is going to happen to your body, it will probably happen. I don't know. Well, with the FND, it does. So, do you know this not? Right, I'm going to have to go and chill out and have a proper smoke because it's starting to do my head in now. Oh, dear. But yeah, I think I've covered quite a lot there, haven't I? Don't you know? Yeah, I do waffle, don't I? But that's my experience anyway. And like I say, I'm a lot better for just correcting my posture, doing the drinking water and flushing the cortisol out my body, and also sort of, just understanding a bit more about, me. Just learning. Mushrooms. Yeah, doing microdoses of mushrooms and learning about what's been wrong with me. Working stuff out. Like that other day when I did that video and said that I'd worked out what was wrong with me this time, I was overwhelmed with the fact that I'm feeling better. And I felt as though I had to start doing everything that a healthy person does. But I'm not ready for that yet. My mind isn't ready for it. And so it caused me to sort of have a massive autistic meltdown. I couldn't do anything. I stopped functioning. That's what happened. Oh, this is really annoying me now. See, it's not hurting, it's just more annoying than out else. Just tight and irritating. And it makes me need to crack it a lot, and which looks stupid on camera, so I am going to have to go. And, relax it. Because, that's what I do. It's been pushing my head back. It's weird. It's like you're trying to push it back and up, but up that way. So not up like your chin up, but up. And it's like my head needs stretching up like that, and I just can't get it up high enough. I need to pull my head off and just sort of like... But no, that's not a doable thing, is it? So, yeah, I'll just stick with them, smothering myself in rose quartz until it all relaxes, and correcting my posture, and stretching and doing yoga. So, right, anyways, 50 minutes. Well, hey, not bad for me saying I'm going to get off and not do this video. I've ended up doing the bloody full thing, haven't I? But just waffling a lot because I was a bit stressed. I don't know, anxious. I don't know. I think I got myself all anxious over doing this video because I've been putting it off so bloody much, which is a bit silly, really. I don't know. Oh, I'm so thirsty. Electrolytes, not urine. Yeah. I'll show you what the electrolytes are. Oh, so these are the brand that I use. The High Fives Zero. It's just rehydration tablets, and it's what all the athletes use. And it's no caffeine or anything like that. It just replaces all the salts. And if you're drinking a lot of water, you need to replace the salts in your body because otherwise you'll become dehydrated. I think, is it dehydration with the salts coming out? I don't know. But yeah, if you're flushing all the salts out, it's not good for you. So there, and that's that one. Right, I'd better get off because Mike will be home soon and I'm going to finish my dinner off. Right. Oh well, I hope that you've enjoyed this video because, yeah, I don't know, I think it's quite important that people learn the power of the mind and also the importance of posture. And, if it turns out that it is kundalini and, spiritual stuff, then, that's what it is. But you make it what you want it to be. If you're not into that sort of thing, then, just treat it as releasing trauma and correcting posture. If you're into that sort of thing, you treat it as a kundalini awakening. Go with whatever you want, innit? I don't know. Anyways, right, I will get off and have a great evening, guys, and I'm going to go and chill out and probably put some Netflix on. And, yeah, I'm watching a Belgian series. So I've gone from not being able to sit and watch TV at all because of being in pain when I'm sat to, like, being a telly addict and back-to-backing series and running out of stuff to watch and having to watch foreign things. So yeah, it's called Undercover and it's just about a couple of undercover cops. It's alright, like, not spectacular, not quite Stranger Things or anything, but I've watched Stranger Things and I can't watch it again and again. I'd do that when I was younger, but I don't do it now. War of the Worlds, that was a good one. Back-to-back that and all. What else is there? My God, there's too much stuff to watch. We're watching Manifest at the minute. But yeah, I've watched loads, and yeah, that's being able to sit and watch telly and chill, and I can do it all day as well. And yeah, that's a bad thing though, isn't it? Well, it's a good thing, and it's a bad thing, but I don't know. Anyways, right, I'm gonna go, and I will catch you guys later. And yeah, I hope you like the video. I'll see you later. Bye, guys.